If you've filled up the car recently, you'll have noted that the rising price of petrol. Now, that increase has helped push up inflation for the first time in 7 months. The Consumer Prices Index rose to 1.5% in October, up from 1.1% in September. And it's thought inflation could keep on rising into the new year. Live to London's West End, our business correspondent Darshini David is there. What's it all about, Darshini?
Well, it's a very confusing picture, isn't it? Because here in Oxford Street, there are plenty of sale signs around. We've all got used to the fact that prices have been rising more slowly in recent months. There is a recession on and demand hasn't been very strong. But the figures we're looking at today, they're a reminder that there are price pressures building in some parts of the economy, in particular, of course, those fuel prices. Florist Michelle Rust is hoping for a bumper Christmas, but higher fuel costs are a problem for her, making it both more expensive to bring in flowers from abroad and deliver them to her customers.
We've only actually increased our flower delivery prices once in the last 4 years, and we've upped it by 50p for our local area, and we've had a lot of complaints over that because people just don't understand why we have to charge for going around the corner, but somebody has to pay those prices, unfortunately.
It's not just small businesses that are suffering. Prices at the petrol pump are up by about a quarter since the start of the year and are the main reason for the rise in overall inflation. Motorists are also feeling the pain.
Over £1 a litre is just ridiculous. Compared to the rest of the world, it's, we're just getting robbed.
If it goes up any more, then we're definitely going to have to look at cutting back, probably in the new year.
If petrol has gone up at that price, definitely you have to drop your spending.
Last July, the price of oil reached an all-time record high of $147 per barrel. And that translated into us paying about 119 pence per litre for our petrol at the pumps. Since then, the price has almost halved to $78 per barrel. But it hasn't led to big cuts at the pumps. Today, we'll still pay around 109 pence per litre. So, why haven't prices fallen?
I think that companies are expecting more volatility and they're expecting further rises. So we'll see on the crude market, which to a certain extent is driven by investors rather than what's actually happening for physical supply. And I think that they are anticipating we'll see higher prices, and we'll see higher prices in 2010.
But the bad news for Michelle and the rest of us is that petrol prices are expected to rise further. And if that forces business to put their prices up, it may mean inflation rises too.
Darshini, there are other reasons for this inflation increase as well. What other factors have come to bear here?
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. It's not just about fuel prices. There are other areas. For example, second-hand car prices have gone up quite sharply. The scrappage scheme has probably inflated that market somewhat as well. And there are noises about clothing and furniture prices going up, partly because it's getting more expensive to import things like that because of the exchange rate. And don't forget, come the new year, we're going to see VAT going back up again as well. So the experts are telling us this all adds up to perhaps higher inflation in the new year, but not much higher because people are still so cash-strapped. Retailers can't get away with putting up prices by very much at the moment. So that's likely to keep a lid on inflation, and what that ultimately means is that interest rates may not rise now for many months to come.